Troy, I was cruising around practice the other day, and I was watching your guys drill, and you were on the sidelines watching some of the newcomers, and you were giving them some vocal instruction yourself. You're helping out Coach Levitt at that time. How do you view your role during practice as a leader like that?
I mean, I'm a junior now, going on year 3. I mean, you got to step up when you've been here for so long. Me and Lana have a big job to show these young guys what to do. I mean, we had a lot of older guys show us what to do when we were younger. So I try to take a big role in being a leader and try to show them the right way and the things to do. Because I know it's hard to ask coach questions, so I try to make myself available for young guys to come ask me questions or try to coach them up on little things, because I may say it a little different than Coach Levitt will say it. Maybe a way that he can understand it better than Coach Levitt will tell him, and he gonna get all lost and discombobulated. So I just try to help him out.
Troy, it's been mentioned before, but when Coach Levitt was at Colorado, obviously, and he inherited a poor defense, turned it around slightly or significantly year 1. Year 2, they were a championship defense. What's kind of your sense of year 2 in Levitt for Oregon?
A championship, like you just said. I mean, if Colorado was able to make that big turnaround going into year 2, I mean, we should have no problem doing it. Because we have the same tools that they had, and we got to just keep working, chopping wood like they did. And we just got to keep getting better, and each day just keep improving on the defenses and on the calls and our communication as a whole, and just try to get better as a unit.
Troy, this is I think your 3rd different head coach in 3 years. That's probably kind of a strange situation. Kind of what's that been like, and what's the comfort level with
I mean, like you said, it's strange. You never expect to go to a college and have 3 different head coaches, especially here with the previous staffs that they had. It was all in-house. Nobody else were getting in and out. But I mean, to go through 3 different head coaches has been definitely a challenge. A lot of guys have faced a lot of adversity, because when you have new coaches come in, I mean, they're going to bring in their own recruits, so you got to fight and battle every year. And it's kind of cool to have the same core coaching staff, but a new head coach, because you still have the same coaches, so they know what you're capable of doing. So it's not as much of proving yourself to the coach. It's more of working on your techniques, working on calls, working on things like that. But just 3 different head coaches, you can just see 3 different philosophies and 3 different ways practices are run, 3 different mentalities. And it's definitely just been kind of cool to be able to handle that and being able to move on forward in my life and handle adversity well.
Yeah, Troy, I'm sure you're very optimistic your first 2 years you came here, but are you more optimistic this year than ever, and if so, why?
Oh, most definitely. I'm more optimistic this year because we have a same defense going to year 2, and this is the first time for me being able to have the same defense going 2 years in a row since I think my freshman year of high school. So being able to have the same defense, same terminology, same language, same guys around you that know what they're doing, and you can focus on the little things of the defense instead of working on the grand scheme of things is going to be great for us to have little checks to help us out with things that we didn't have last year, where guys were out of place by a step or 2, and we have that step or 2 now this year, and we're working on those things to get better and improve our game.
Lamar and Keith came in the same year as you did, and you instantly made big impacts. And last season, Lamar started turning the corner, and now Keith had a really big spring. What's kind of, from your vantage point, what have you seen from those 2 guys and their importance of the defense this coming season?
I mean, they're a big factor in our defense. I mean, they're both outside linebackers, which is a big factor in our defense. We need both of those dudes to play fantastic this year. And like you said, I mean, Lamar had a great year last year, and he's just continued to build. He's put on weight. He's put on some strength. So, I mean, just him moving forward and seeing his transition from when we first came in as freshmen till now is just it's phenomenal. In the same way with Keith. I mean, Keith came in a little overweight our freshman year. He's lost a lot of weight. He's worked on his hips. He's done a lot of great things to improve his game, and you can definitely tell he loves the game again. And because he kind of went through a little rough patch, but I mean, he found himself and he's doing his thing, and I'm really happy for him. And we're really counting big on those 2 guys, especially this year.
You got reunited this year with Travis. He showed up here for spring camp. How is it being a big brother to Travis now that you guys are on the same team again? How do you do that role? How do you?
I mean, I kind of just treat him like he's another teammate on the team. I don't ever really single him out or try to just get on him extra hard. But I mean, I will pull him to the side and let him know, like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what you need to do. There's little things that you need to pick up, little things you need to do. But ultimately, I kind of let him live his own life. You got to let him do his own things, make his own mistakes, make his own corrections. I mean, that's part of growing up, and I try to help him avoid the bigger picture things where you're staying out of trouble. You're not going out late at night. You're recovering the right way. There's the little things that my older brother helped me without when I called him when I needed help. But I just try to help him with little things. Anytime he has a question, I try to answer the best I can. But I mean, I just try to just let him do his own thing, let him live his own life.
Troy, you mentioned 3 different head coaches, 3 different philosophies. What have you noticed so far in camp that's maybe a little bit different with Coach Cristobal compared to past camps?
The physicality, most definitely. Coach Cristobal stresses physicality and being able to impose your will on anybody at any time you want. So I mean, we're focusing a lot on physicality this camp and working hard, working fast, but playing smart at the same time. We want a lot of hard hits, but thuds. We don't want anybody going to the ground. We want to play smart like we're professionals, but we still got to go full speed and get good work in.
You know, 3 new head coaches or throughout your career, that brings new strength coaches, new weight training programs. What's been the biggest difference this offseason in the weight training program?
Just the attention to detail and just the workouts themselves have been different from the past two staffs that were here previously. Coach Feld and his staff are doing a phenomenal job. Everybody's bought into their program because you can tell, like, all the energy that you see on the media, all the energy you see on Twitter, Instagram, all that Flex Friday, the 45-day challenge, that's him 24/7, 365. Like, he's 100% go. So when you see that out of a coach, you got to try to match his energy because you know every day he's going to have that same energy. So if you're not matching it, you're just going to get pissed off, annoyed, you're just going to get bugged, and you're just going to try to go off in a corner and do your own thing. But if you can match it and kind of run with him and try to keep the same pace as him, you can do a lot of great things. And I think guys are trying to match it and do what he's telling us to do, and we're trying to just go the right way and continue to get stronger and faster and bigger.
What have you seen from Adrian and MJ? I know there's 2 true freshmen. They've had a couple days of fall camp, but have you kind of seen some flashes from those 2 guys?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Out of all the young guys have done a lot of flashes. Adrian is, as you could tell, he looks like a phenomenal beast. I mean, the dude he is what he is. I mean, coming out of high school looking like that is crazy. I mean, he runs well, good hips, he hits hard. I mean, he uses his hands well. The only thing with them is just you got to get in the playbook a little bit more and just continue to grasp it, because when you think you have the defense, Coach Levis going to throw another defense at you, and it's all hell breaks loose. So you got to just continue to keep going and keep chopping wood and keep getting your playbook, because that's the biggest thing from transition from high school to college. I mean, we're all great athletes up here. So I mean, the next best thing they have to do is get in the playbook and continue to learn. But I mean, so far over these past 3 days, they've been a phenomenal job and really big bright spots, and we're really excited about them for this year.
I'm sure you remember the days when the Ducks were sitting on top of the college football world and playing in a couple title games, and obviously such a powerful team. Taking a little bit of a step back, but coming back now, picked 3rd in the division. What do you expect out of this team? Do you expect to be a Pac-12 contender, and why?
Oh, most definitely, man. We have a lot of guys who can do a lot of things right. We're going to work really hard, and we got a lot of proof this year. Like you said, we fell off a little bit, and we got a lot of things. We got a big alumni base that really supports us, a lot of fans that support us. So at the end of the day, you got to go out and do it for your community, do it for your fans, do it for the people who support you through the ups and the downs. And we've had a lot of great fans stick with us through the downs, so we got to go out there and give them a good season this year. And I think we're on the right path. We still have a little gap that we have to fill. Like Coach Cristobal tells us all the time, we still have that little gap we have to fill. But I mean, we're working towards it, and we're slowly closing that gap up a little bit to work towards that Pac-12 championship and be able to play on that Friday night and be able to get the job done.